it's okay now. Well, okay, let's see how to describe them. For example, some movies are award winning. So when a film is award winning, you know, for example, it's really good, and you would see that, for example, they win Oscar and all the awards because of the movie. So a movie can be award winning, can be blockbuster. So what is this? Blockbuster means very successful. For example, Titanic was blockbuster. So it was really successful. And some films, maybe they're not really, yes, successful, but they make a lot of money. So
Yeah.
we see some films, for example, I think Barbie, yeah, the last film, Barbie, yeah, of course, it's a box office hit. What is that? It means made
A lot of money.
Of course. A lot of money. Okay, so that is box office. Okay, hit. But on the other hand, we have some negative. For example, you want to say that no, it was not really successful, unsuccessful. So you can say the movie flopped. Was unsuccessful. So it was, flopped. So for example, the movie flopped is it was unsuccessful. So you can say, okay, there are just some words that you can use when talking about films. If you, of course, there are all the idioms. Now let's move on to the book. Okay, let's see. Cast. So you know the meaning of this word. What is?
Yeah. We used to say he is going to casting. Yeah. Cast.
Yeah, of course, that is good. But here, because the whole cast in Titanic, actually here means the group of actors
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
make a film. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. The group of
And actress.
actresses, of course, actors and actresses who make up a film. So that is cast. And well, of course, it's not only about movies. So for example, you can talk about stage play, a theater. So it's not only about film. So cast here means a group, but of course, as you said, you can use it, casting. Yeah, of course, you can use it as you mentioned. But here means a group of people who act. And now, we just talked about it, a blockbuster, so very successful.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Avengers series are really blockbuster. A lot of people are dying to watch them in the cinema. Of course, Avengers. So tell me, do you have a blockbuster Vietnamese film that people are really into?
Yeah, I love the local film, but I'm really into American movies.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
I rather watch Vietnamese films because
Yeah,
I don't have so much time. So if I have time, I will choose
of course.
Hollywood.
Of course, of course. I know what you say. It's like, yeah, you're really busy to choose. So actually, you don't
Yeah.
take risk. Just watch something that, yeah, of course. Well, and this one, that is epic.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is that? Some films, of course, it can have different meaning, but here we are talking about a film. So first of all, have you heard this word or epic film? Do you know
Yeah.
what it, could you tell me about it? So what is the meaning of it if you heard?
Yeah. Some film they made with a lot of people. Yeah. Huge. The large amounts of
Human heroes, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and it make the film resonate with viewers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Actually, this type of films, not always. So normally focus on like a really important event or historical, or for example, I don't know, adventurous maybe events. And as you said, they focus actually in the large, like, like for example, heroes, heroines, okay?
Yeah.
So, and they have dramatic storylines. Like, of course, I have no idea about this film, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
In
But
Korea, yeah,
Squid Game. Um,
yeah, Squid Game, yeah, Netflix, yeah, of course. I couldn't watch it. Squid Game, you mean?
yeah, that's right.
Of
It's
course,
like
yeah,
it look
of
like an
course.
epic movie.
Of course, of course. So if I want to give you some phrases, some alternatives to describe this genre or this word about films, I'm talking about films. So it's emotional. It can be, for example, dramatic. So it has emotional and dramatic impact. So this is the first one. And as I told you, it's like, that is really important because they need very large budget. So they cost a lot of money. So you know that it's really adventurous. So of course. And so we can say that large budget
Yeah.
and emotional impact.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this, like Squid Game. Yeah, maybe can be. And actually it's like, like grand scope. If I want to, uh, they often show or portray actually it's like, really expensive or significant, dramatic, maybe event or period of time, or I don't know, adventure. So, and we have a lot of epic films in, of course, in Hollywood. And do you have a film industry like Hollywood in your country?
Um, yeah. We also have, but it a little smaller. Yeah.
Of course, got it. And ah, and about, for example, this films, because now I just remember that The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is really good example of epic film, and Titanic. So we also
Yeah.
talked about Titanic, so it's about. And this one, Premiere. Premiere is the first performance, maybe the first show, the first performance of something.
Yeah.
So and especially in public, so Wednesday, and I met Victor Wu, my favorite director, at the premiere of Macbeth. So what is that? That is the first performance that
Yeah.
normally you can meet actors and cast, and so this is the meaning of this word. Well, let's make, and it's not your turn to make some sentences using those words: cast, blockbuster, epic, and premiere.
Yeah. In yeah, and in some recent days, in some recent week in Vietnam, um, I've heard that a TikToker was um, famous about his film as the casting at the cast in the movie are the whole the whole neighborhood of him. Yeah,
Ah, really? So
yeah,
all, the cast were people from his neighborhood.
yeah,
Wow, that's really interesting.
yeah. And
Smart, yeah.
make a lot of money because uh, that film was viral. Uh,
Ah,
yeah,
I really want to see, because that's really interesting how people, because ordinary people, normal people, of course, we can't play, we can't, I don't know, act. It's like
yeah,
we are not. But
Yeah,
it's really interesting that
yeah,
you can make
actor,
people.
the actors was his neighbor. So all of the people in the village help him.
Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, that's really good, actually. Smart idea. Well, Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. I love Blockbuster film because it's make me um, have a wonderful time spending with my lovers.
Yeah. Okay, love. Okay, so lovers. Lovers loving. Which one?
Yeah, family members and friends, close friends.
Okay, of course. But you know that we have lovers, okay, and you have, for example, loving. So that's really good, of course, good word that you can use. But when you say lovers, actually it refers to people who are in romantic relationships. So it's, of course, you can talk about, okay, for example, I don't know, the two lovers walked on the street, like, for example, like
Yeah, okay,
this.
okay. It's
Okay.
different. It's
Yeah,
different
of course.
meanings. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so of course your family member, but it's a bit, yeah, different. And loving is another one that is adjective. So again, we have it and describes someone who shows deep affection. So lovers, loving, just we need to actually we need to pay attention when using, so how to use them. But it was a good word. So okay, and the next one, epic.
Epic. Um, it's difficult for me to watch an epic uh, movie because it take a lot of time.
Yeah, of course. And how about premiere?
Remember, um, I, yeah, the the actor gather as the whole to uh, to for the premiere of a famous films.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And have you ever been in a premiere in any movie? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Actually, I don't interested in this film. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, popcorn movie. Oh, and this one. It's like, I don't know, just not really serious movie. Like, I don't know, don't look for really deep message. Or I don't like, I don't know, intellectual depth. No, this is just have your popcorn, watch it, spend time. I don't know. That is, I don't know, you can have some, I don't know, enjoyable entertainment. I don't know, like this, just for fun. It's not really deep. So, I don't like Ted movie. What is Ted movie? Most of them, okay. And most of them are just popcorn movies which don't have any messages. Of course, it's like, but sometimes it's not bad.
yeah.
Especially when, of course, especially when you're with family. So of course, I just let's sit and I didn't have a popcorn and just watch. And of course, there is nothing deep in it, but it's okay. So what do you think about popcorn movies? Of course, you don't have time, so never ever. I know
Yeah.
you don't watch.
In test holiday, so I also watch some popcorn movies because it's really fun, and it's
Yeah,
remind me about the youth, and yeah, it's something funny.
of course. I know. Actually, it's really good. Sometimes it's really good.
Yeah,
Well, okay. We're going to talk about the structure of the day, but if you have any questions related to these words or phrases, you can ask. Then, if no, we can keep going with the rest of it.
yeah, no, no.
Okay, very good. Just let me say, sometimes you want to suggest, for example, you want to suggest a film. This one is really good. How do you do it? So could you tell me, for example, what phrase, how do you suggest a good film, a good movie to watch?
For example, uh, I have seen the movie Me Before You. Is I highly recommend you to see the film, last film.
It's good, of course, it's really good. But recommend is really good, but it's like a bit formal. Oh, we are friends, like, you recommend, it's, of course, it's definitely correct. Definitely correct. But for example, I suggest is good. I suggest, for example, I suggest watching Spider-Man. I
Yeah,
recommend, as you said, I recommend, for example, watch Spider-Man. So that is good. But you should watch this. That is really easy. You should watch this film.
sure. You
Or
should watch
if
it.
I were you, I would watch Spider-Man. So second conditional is really good. If I were you, I would watch this film. Or you should. You should is really good because you want to say that it has value. It's good film. So how to say that, for example, a film has value and as you know, is valuable, so it's good to watch. So you can say it's worth watching.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
Yeah, it's worth watching. Or for example, well worth. It's well worth watching. So which one? Both of them are correct. So this way you can say, and then you should, or if I were you. Well, and let's talk about the structure of the day, that is indirect or reported speech. Really good, usable, but of course we change the structures when talking. Let me be honest. So we change the structures. But let me show you something of the word. Well, look, as you know, we have different tenses in English. So this one is really good. Well, as you can see, for example, I tell you something. Then you want to repeat what I said to another person, and I'm not there anymore. You use reported speech. For example, I say, I'm talking. I'm talking, Helen, please, for example, listen to me, okay? You say, teacher told me, or teacher said that. That is optional, so you can use it or not, it's your choice. For example, teacher told me, or teacher said, okay, that, then you need to change the tense, one tense back. I am talking, present continuous, I was talking, okay? So teacher said she was talking. You don't use I because I'm not there anymore. You are talking instead of me, but I'm not there anymore. So teacher said she was talking. So this is the way, and first of all, the definition, why we use it. So I want to report what someone else said. This is the use of it. And now, as you can see, we have different tenses. The first one, I work in Paris. Present simple. This is direct. I say, I work in Paris. Now, she said or he said, okay, that, we don't say that, but if you want, it's okay. And then he, because this person is not here anymore, we use third person, he. Now, present simple to past simple, he worked in Paris. I'm working, he said he was walking. Now I have simple past. I walked. I need to change simple past to past perfect. I had. So he said he had worked. I was working. Oh, I need to change it to past perfect. So past simple, past perfect. Past continuous, past perfect continuous, had been working. So you only need to know this actually structured, like formula, how to make them. That is really easy. I have been, and let me say something. Some of them are not really usable. Like for example, present perfect continuous, and you want to report it to someone else. Why? Don't do this. So it's like, really, I don't know. Some of them not really usable. Yes, they're not really common, but we rarely use. Now, this is about will, would. I will work. She said I would work. I can sing. She said she could sing. So I must go. She said she had to go. Okay, may and might. So may I help you? She asked. This is totally different. I will explain how to make question. Yes, no question and WH question. And as you can see, we have time expressions. For example, now, I'm talking now. Helen, I'm talking now. Monica said she was talking then. So now should be changed to then. Or today, okay? We go out today. So Monica said she went out that day. So today should be changed to that day. So there are some, as you can see, we have time expressions for direct and then the change, how to change them. On your book, as you can see, just we have present and past, I think, but the difference between said and told. What's the difference? After told, we have a pronoun. For example, told me, told him, told her, okay, etc. After said, no, just said. She said, and the rest. She told me. So that is a difference, but which one you want to use? Of course, is. So we have another, the second subject, or actually pronoun after told, but about said no. So I will send you this worksheet so you can have them. That is really just you need to memorize the structures and then you change them. Now let's practice. Okay? Yeah. Look, just in your book, present simple, past simple. That is really easy. Present simple, past simple, and past simple, past perfect, had and past participle. Now, look, okay, today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 time expressions, but there are more. What? Today, that day, yesterday, the day, for example, I went out yesterday. I say, I went out yesterday. Okay? So, Monica said she had gone, okay, out, okay, yesterday, the day, of course, before, this way. Now, that's really important because sometimes you need to make question. So let's learn this one. Then I will talk about the makings because you need to use if and, of course, another form that I will explain. Well, let's see. Let's complete the questions using said or told. Okay, number one, who?
Yeah.
Who said or who told?
Who said?
Who said, of course.
Yeah.
Number two, who? A policeman.
Who said?
A policeman. I have someone after. Like a policeman is like you. For example, can I say, I said you? No.
Yeah.
I told you.
Okay. Yeah.
So I should
told a policeman.
Of course, told the policeman because of policeman, I should say told. Yeah. And number three, who famously?
Said.
Said, very good. Yeah. And number four?
Who told a dog?
Who, of course, told a dog. And number five?
Who said?
Very good. And six?
Who said?
Yeah, very good. Well, and now let's listen. But before it, it's not bad because the structure is easy. Let's talk about making question. Then we keep going with listening. For example, I say, look here. May I help you? She said, no, here I don't say she said, because this is question. She asked.
She asked.
Now I can use if.
Yeah.
She asked if she, okay. May I help you? May should be changed to might. She, okay, might, okay, help me. So, may I help you? She asked if she might help me, okay? And shall, so of course, shall should be changed to should. What shall I do? He asked, now because this is WH, I don't say if. So I say she asked again, okay, what? For example, he shall, should do, okay? So for example, I write something and you change it. I say, can we meet today?
She said she could meet that day.
Okay, again, can we meet? So first of all, for question, I don't say said, no told. I say she asked. I'm asking you. This is question.
Yeah.
So I'm asked. So she asked.
Asked if she could meet me that day.
You don't need to change. If we could meet, okay, that day. We could meet that day. So she asked if we could meet. So the only thing that you need to change is can to could, and then you need to use if. And for example, what is your name? Again, she asked.
She asked, what was my name? Okay.
What? But the only point, because I begin my question with she asked, the second part is not what was. What's your name? So a normal. So she asked what my name was. Was. Of course, she asked what my name was. Okay. So when making questions, I need to, because actually I begin my sentence, my question using she asked, he asked. The second part actually should be changed to this way. So a normal, so we have some changes. So what is your name? No, what your name is. It's exactly the same in present. For example, when I want to ask some, I don't know, polite questions, okay? I say, may I know your name, please? Okay, this is. Now, what is your name? Okay, could you tell me what your name is? What is your name? So when I have something at the beginning, the second part change to a normal form, not a question form, okay? Yeah. Well, understand?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Well, and now let's listen. One moment. $22. Okay.
Unit 12, Fame. Recording 1.
In the old days, big studios controlled their actors. This means they also controlled their actors' contracts. In fact, the studios had all the power, and they used this power to write some strange contracts. One example is Johnny Weissmuller. the swimmer who acted as Tarzan. As he got older, he got too fat. In his next role, the contract said he had to be 190 pounds or less. If he came to work heavier than 190 pounds, he lost $5,000 for every pound. Another example is that of the silent film actor Buster Keaton, who was famous for his sad face. The face became so important that the studio said he could not smile on screen. And they wrote it in his contract. No smiling. These days, of course, famous actors have all the power. They are the stars, and their contracts show it. They ask for whatever they want. An example of this is Roger Moore, famous for playing James Bond. Mr. Moore liked the good things in life. In his contract, it was written that he could have an unlimited number of Cuban cigars. During one Bond film, the bill for his cigars was over £3,000. Comedian Woody Allen agreed to act in a film by Disney. He asked the company to take his whole family for a private tour of Disneyland. They agreed and wrote it in his contract. In her contract, Jennifer Lopez asked for a white changing room with white curtains and white sofas. The room also had to be full of white flowers. The contract also asked for lots of fresh food, including apple pie and ice cream. Compared to actors, some musicians, especially rock stars, asked for very strange things in their contracts. The rock group Van Halen asked for plates full of the chocolate sweets, M&Ms, in their changing room, but they wanted all the brown ones removed. After that, the Rolling Stones contract asked for all the brown M&Ms that Van Halen didn't eat. They were joking.
Wow. The first one, okay, in contract,
Yeah.
Johnny Weissmuller had to weigh.
I don't remember exactly, but he had to weigh again. Yeah.
Yeah, had to weigh about, so 82 kilograms, that is 190 pounds.
Yeah.
Or less. And the next one,
he couldn't smile during his films.
Of course, very good. And these days, famous.
I don't remember.
We're talking about actors. So we're talking about actors, so famous actors.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, of course. Nowadays, actors and musicians so have the power because, for example, Woody Allen's.
So what is number 4?
Famous actors.
Actors.
Of course.
Famous actors.
Of course. They have all the power.
Yeah.
For example, Woody Allen's went on a private, for tour of Disneyland. Okay, tour of Disneyland. So, Woody Allen's.
Had when.
No. So I think it's not bad to listen again, Helen. What do you think? Woody Allen's family. Yeah, of course. Let's listen. Yeah.
Unit 12. Fame. Recording 1.
In the old days, big studios controlled their actors. This means they also controlled their actors' contracts. In fact, the studios had all the power, and they used this power to write some strange contracts. One example is Johnny Weissmuller, the swimmer who acted as Tarzan. As he got older, he got too fat. In his next role, the contract said he had to be 190 pounds or less. If he came to work heavier than 190 pounds, he lost $5,000 for every pound. Another example is that of the silent film actor Buster Keaton, who was famous for his sad face. The face became so important that the studio said he could not smile on screen. And they wrote it in his contract. No smiling. These days, of course, famous actors have all the power. They are the stars, and their contracts show it. They ask for whatever they want. An example of this is Roger Moore, famous for playing James Bond. Mr. Moore liked the good things in life. In his contract, it was written that he could have an unlimited number of Cuban cigars. During one Bond film, the bill for his cigars was over £3,000. Comedian Woody Allen agreed to act in a film by Disney. He asked the company to take his whole family for a private tour of Disneyland. They agreed and wrote it in his contract. In her contract, Jennifer Lopez asked for a white changing room with white curtains and white sofas. The room also had to be full of white flowers. The contract also asked for lots of fresh food, including apple pie and ice cream. Compared to actors, some musicians, especially rock stars, asked for very strange things in their contracts. The rock group Van Halen asked for plates full of the chocolate sweets, M&Ms, in their changing room, but they wanted all the brown ones removed. After that, the Rolling Stones contract asked for all the brown M&Ms that Van Halen didn't eat. They were joking.
Well,
Ah.
so now I think it's better. Okay, so Woody Allen's
Yeah.
family went on a
And-
private tour, yeah.
Yeah. And number 3 is smile, smile. And yeah, the number 4, these days, famous actors have all the power. And Woody Allen's families went on a private for Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, very good. And some musicians, special rock star, ask for very strange things in
their contracts.
Very good, their contracts, very good. Okay, and now, do you remember what was Johnny Weissmuller's problem according to audio? Do you remember?
He has to lose weight.
Okay, and about number 2, how much was the bill for these in, do you remember, cigarettes? So some details, okay. So what color was everything in Jennifer's room? Do you remember? Okay, now we're gonna listen and ask. Okay, so just let's listen because we're gonna have some details. Okay, look for some details. So check the questions. What type of food did this group ask for? Let me check or no. Okay, well, make some notes because we need to actually have some details.
Unit 12, Fame. Recording 1.
In the old days, big studios controlled their actors. This means they also controlled their actors' contracts. In fact, the studios had all the power, and they used this power to write some strange contracts. One example is Johnny Weissmuller, the swimmer who acted as Tarzan. As he got older, he got too fat. In his next role, the contract said he had to be 190 pounds or less. If he came to work heavier than 190 pounds, he lost $5,000 for every pound. Another example is that of the silent film actor Buster Keaton, who was famous for his sad face. The face became so important that the studio said he could not smile on screen. And they wrote it in his contract. no smiling. These days, of course, famous actors have all the power. They are the stars, and their contracts show it. They ask for whatever they want. An example of this is Roger Moore, famous for playing James Bond. Mr. Moore liked the good things in life. In his contract, it was written that he could have an unlimited number of Cuban cigars. During one Bond film, the bill for his cigars was over £3,000. Comedian Woody Allen agreed to act in a film by Disney. He asked the company to take his whole family for a private tour of Disneyland. They agreed and wrote it in his contract. In her contract, Jennifer Lopez asked for a white changing room with white curtains and white sofas. The room also had to be full of white flowers. The contract also asked for lots of fresh food, including apple pie and ice cream. Compared to actors, some musicians, especially rock stars, asked for very strange things in their contracts. The rock group Van Halen asked for plates full of the chocolate sweets, M&Ms, in their changing room, but they wanted all the brown ones removed. After that, the Rolling Stones contract asked for all the brown M&Ms that Van Halen didn't eat. They were joking.
Yeah, okay. So the second one, how much?
Second,
Yeah.
the first is the Johnny Weissmuller problem is when he got older, he got too fat.
Yeah.
Number two, he asked the bill for £3,000.
Perfect. What color was everything in Jennifer Lopez's room?
She won white changing room. White.
White. And what type of food did this group ask for?
They asked for apple pie and ice cream.
And of course, an M&M, white chocolate M&M. So it's really interesting. So yeah, ice cream and of course. Well, and now let's see, we have some words. Of course, you know the meaning of them. Now let's match them to the definitions. So the first one, okay, studio is
a room where a performers go to change his studio. That is film company where the place where films are made.
Very good. Of course, a film company or the place, of course. And role, so you know this one.
Role, a character or in a play or films.
Of course, a character in a play or film. Very good. And on screen?
On screen. During a film or television programs.
Of course. And stars?
Star, that is famous actor, singer, sports players.
Good one. And changing room?
Is the room where a performer changes his or her clothes.
Yeah, of course. What about screen? On the screen, we have also big screen. So which means, for example, do you like watching film, for example, at home or on big screen? And you say, I would prefer to go to the cinema. Actually, the big screen means at the cinema. So, for example, when I say I like to see films on the big screen, it means at the cinema. So which one would you prefer, Helen? At home or on the big screen?
Both.
Both, of course. So let me just write the preposition. Both. Okay. With family or alone?
Of course, with family and friends.
Okay, who is the person in your family? Because every family has one. just ask a lot of questions when watching films. Who is the one in your family? Because, normally kids, for example, mom, what happened? Or moms, for example, when you watch film with your mom start asking, what happened? What did she say? And you should translate everything and you should explain everything. Do you have this member? So who is this member in your family who asks a lot when watching film? No
Yeah.
one?
Of course, my kids. Yeah, they
Yeah.
always asking to change the program.
Yeah, of course. And that is because, I watched a really fun, actually, video about someone, his mother asked a lot. And he made actually like a PowerPoint, like to explain everything. And at the same time, when watching, mom could see the PowerPoint and she actually didn't ask any question anymore. That was really useful. I need to make some because I'm watching and at the end of the film, I can't understand anything. I'm like, okay, so just I'm answering. Mom, why you're not answering me? Well, okay. So what is this? Okay, so this one just found out I'm sharing out with Emily Sharp. She's okay, so you can use the word that we just checked, just these words.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can guess. It's really easy. So you normally share with someone else.
Sharing a famous.
So we have on a screen, we have a star, we have changing room, we have a studio, and we have role. Which one?
I don't remember all the words.
So we have changing room,
Yeah.
star, and studio, and on a screen and role. On a screen and role. Which one?
Role. Share a star with Emily Sharp.
I think we share a room normally. We share our rooms. So changing room. So I just found, of course, that I'm sharing a changing room with Emily Sharp. She's my hero. I've seen her lots of times. Her what?
Her.
This her is not actually possessive pronoun. Just I've seen her somewhere. Where?
On screen.
Of course, very good. And she's going to be a big.
And she's going to be a big star.
Of course, she has the biggest.
Role.
Of course, very good. And I'm really happy that this decided to film it.
That's studio.
Very good, of course. Well, so we could use these words. Okay, my dear Helen, do you have any questions related to this topic?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so have a wonderful and fruitful week. And see you at the next session.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.